Us as men, we are called to be protectors. And I believe it is selfish for us to not own guns and assume that somebody else is going to be there to protect us in times of trouble. Welcome back to another Range Rulerz video. My name is Parker, and today we're going to be discussing a very important topic that applies to us as men, and that's why we need to own guns. Toward the end of last week's video, where I discussed an important piece of gear that you need to own with your AR, I spoke very briefly about my beliefs as a Christian and some convictions that I have for us as men needing to be protectors of our households. If you didn't see that video, be sure to go back and watch that one after this one, and I'll be sure to have a link for you in the description below. But in that video, I made this statement. I didn't originally intend on speaking on this, but I'm a devout Christian, and I firmly believe that especially us as men, that we are called to protect the ones that God has given us. I just felt like I needed to say that. So those are some values that I hold near and dear. Us as men, we are called to be protectors. And I believe it is selfish for us to not own guns and assume that somebody else is going to be there to protect us in times of trouble. It's good that we have resources like law enforcement to protect and to serve us when we need them. But at the end of the day, it's our responsibility as men to protect ourselves, our families, or even a stranger. A lot of times I feel like we can get too comfortable with the idea of having emergency services arrive to our front door whenever we need them. But like I mentioned on this channel before, what if you live somewhere where law enforcement could take several hours to respond, or potentially not at all? How will you protect yourself or even your family? You know, and another thing that we can think about too is how many sworn officers does your local department have on per shift compared to the amount of people that are living in your surrounding area? These are just some things that we need to think about as men and how we need to prepare ourselves as we fight back against the evil in this world. And now, this isn't meant to be fear-based. However, this is simply recognizing that real evil does exist in this world in many different forms. That could be as simple as a wild animal trying to attack you, or even an intruder in the night. We want to be mentally prepared to fight back or ward off those evils when they do come. We just don't want to become overly dependent on somebody else to do a job that God has already called us as men to do. Another thing that we could look at is owning and shooting guns is actually a confidence builder. If you want to build more confidence as a man, go to your local firearms dealer and pick up a Glock 17, because I can almost guarantee you that if you put 1,000 rounds to it, you'll definitely feel like a lot stronger and more confident man. Like a manly man. And I speak that from experience. And by the way, if you're getting a lot of value out of this video, please consider hitting the like button. That way the YouTube algorithm knows to push this message to more people. Another thing I wanted to mention is that owning guns is our right as American citizens. There's not very many other countries out there that are blessed to have this sort of freedom. As men, as a nation, if we don't take full advantage of this freedom now, will we have it for much longer? That's something that we need to think about. But comment down below on what your thoughts are on that. So, men, there we have it. This is why I believe we need to own guns. I hope this video was valuable to you, and if it was, again, hit that like button. That way I know to keep on making more videos like these. Thanks for taking the time today to watch this video, and definitely consider sharing with somebody who may also get some value from it. I'm Parker with Range Rulerz. I'll see you guys in the next one.